It's difficult to fight white people currently because they are basically rendering us out of our own country using migrants. And you guys don't want to hear that. Because if a white person is now having a Zimbabwean as a garden boy, a Malawian who work 24 hours a day and they do everything, they worship them, they're at the feet, and then the South African says, but my minimum wage is 5,000 Rand a month. And you come as Sarah from wherever and you say, I'm going to take 2,000 Rand. Does that fight not set us back? Of course it does. Now we have to focus on the...
So but why are those employers not being arrested?
That's what we're trying to do right now. Remember, South Africa has been going on this lawlessness all along. And that's why we came as much and much to say these are the laws. That's why we are strong as much and much, which I think is what people don't understand. Why maybe we're like the because we come and we say, we point out this is what the law says. Since I started with you, that's the only thing I've been saying.
Absolutely.
That's the only thing I've been saying because
Jacinta Zuma is xenophobic. I'm going to prove this claim through pointing you to what she says, not just talking about narratives about her. I want to point to specifically how she talks about illegal immigrants and how she transitions from just talking about illegal immigration policies and issues with our policies to demonizing illegal immigrants. And then I'm going to move from there to talk about how she uses similar logics to white people who claim that black people must just get over apartheid to tell illegal immigrants and people from other African countries to just get over their role in ending apartheid. The first thing that I want to comment on is the way that she talks about illegal immigrants. This post from the 30th of April is a very good example. She dehumanizes illegal immigrant women, describing them as breeding like rats, and suggests that all illegal immigrant men in the Johannesburg CBD stand on street corners waiting to be criminals. This is the fundamental essence of xenophobia. Rather than being critical of policies or critical of what is happening because of illegal immigration, she shifts into dehumanizing and violent rhetoric in order to present illegal immigrants as a fundamentally dangerous, animalistic, harmful other. This is not criticism of illegal immigration. This is not meaningful commentary. It is the absolute definition of bigotry. The second thing that she does, and it's a more nuanced form of xenophobia, is presented in this comment. Underlying everything that Jacinta says is a particular imaginary of what it is to be South African. Her understanding of national identity is very rooted in the kind of understanding that the colonizers sought to impose on Africa hundreds of years ago. It's this idea that nation states are distinct, should have very strict borders, that they shouldn't help each other, and that they should operate in isolation from each other, because they existed for colonial powers to extract, to take things from, and they were competing over resources, and they said, you can't have any of ours. She also eerily replicates this kind of idea from white South Africans, that apartheid was 32 years ago, get over it. Except this time it's aimed towards any other African country that sought to assist South Africa to achieve at least whatever form we've got now of decolonization. It's critical for us as we seek to truly move Africa forward, that we do not get trapped in imaginaries of decolonization that isolate us from each other. This is the exact imaginary that the colonizer had. The exact imaginary of the nation state where people cannot collaborate, where people should turn against each other, where people should be violent towards each other because they were not born in the same place. This kind of bigotry, this kind of othering, this kind of harm that is produced through this kind of rhetoric from people like Jacinta Zuma must be critiqued in the strongest forms. We must resist it entirely, and we must pay attention to the fact that it underpins things.
So this is Jacinta Zuma attacking white South Africans for employing African migrants. And I wonder why this hateful lady don't create her own company and employ black South Africans, since she thinks that it is very wrong for white South Africans to employ African migrants. Her grievances are complicated and wrong, confusing at the same time, because you cannot blame them for employing African migrants, knowing very well that your people, the black South Africans, are not willing to work. And even if you employ them, they are unemployable.
Yes, but what I'm not happy about is that when you say South Africans don't want to work, in each and every country has its... Okay, let me finish. Yes. Let me give me a chance to finish. These people that you guys are speaking highly of today, they come from before foreign invasion. They found us with a functioning country. You guys had people that you had employed in these businesses who were South Africans. Every country, even there where they come from, you will find those that are not well behaved. Social ills are found in each and every country, but we cannot now try and paint all South Africans with the same brush. We have got a group of South Africans, here they are. They've got their CVs in ready. We are saying, all the foreign nationals that are here, I don't know if it's 5 of them or how many, because the community knows better. They are the ones that often come here, right? You and I, let's find a way to, not even find a way, let's remove those people. We are saying employ our locals, and you get people that are going to...
We employ locals, but the thing is, it's a big problem for the locals. Monday, you know the story, Monday is a problem.
We are willing to negotiate anything except for allowing foreigners to work here. That one, I think that's where we're going to have a problem. We don't mind, he can guide us, it's his business, we don't want to force him. But however, with the issue of foreign nationals, that one we're not willing to negotiate.
They don't go to work every day. If you employ them, they are very lazy. I will not beat about the bush about this fact. And they will demand higher salaries without showing proper or expensive or high quality work ethics for what wages or salaries they are demanding. We don't work like that. Every entrepreneur, every businessman want to work and gain profit so that the business can keep on flourishing, so that the business will not collapse. So if you employ someone who will only demand money without showing submission, without showing proper work ethics towards that job, what will be the end result of that organization, that company, that farm, that business? What will be the end result, the future of that business? This is why South Africans normally employ the African migrants. It is never about them paying them little or peanuts. It is never about that. It is never about minimum wage. It is all about the quality of workers that they want to work with. That is the aim. That is the objective of every businessman. Every serious businessman demands or wants quality workers, which most of Black South Africans don't have that qualities. They want to relax, enjoy life without hard work. And you cannot employ such people in your company. Listen, what our white South African brother is talking about Jacinta Zuma is nothing but the truth. This woman is very xenophobic and hateful towards African migrants in South Africa. But I myself, I don't know who she thinks she is, but time will tell. Definitely, time will tell. The war that Jacinta Zuma and Victoria Africa are trying to pick with white South Africans, it doesn't make sense. And if care is not taken, it will not end well, because the white South Africans are not people that you can play with. They know their rights, and they know who to employ and who not to employ. You cannot force them to employ people that will not help their business. That is a no. You cannot force anything on them. You can't force anybody to employ people. It is never in the constitution of South Africa. That is nonsense. And this nonsense must come to an end. I will end my argument here. The comment section is available. You can drop your comment and I will have time to read all your comments. My name remains Don Cyrus. Don't forget to like the video and share it. And most important part of it, subscribe to the channel. I will see you in my next video. My name remains Don Cyrus. Stay awesome.